In life, they say there is the calm before the storm, but in football, it is the storm that comes before the calm. Because when the World Cup was coming close and close and close, all we were hearing from everyone was, oh, visa denial, entry denial, this case, that case, how Senegalese players were searched at the airport, how these players from this country did not have access, armed robbers went to England camp to steal from them. But then the World Cup started. And then we start seeing that the gap between Morocco and Brazil have nothing to do with the 5 World Cup trophies that Brazil have won, but how ready they are. An 18-year-old boy wearing the Moroccan jersey can derail the ship for 5 times champion. I was saying to myself, if this 18-year-old boy was in Nigeria, the media would have said it is bribery or quota system or whatever that got him there. I think that we started this whole idea of bringing diaspora players, but somehow, I think that Morocco have perfected it. It's called adopt to adapt, and they perfected it very well. Well, there is a whole lot to talk about. The World Cup is the World Cup season. The club football has ended. Only Real Madrid are involved in transfer. The other clubs are waiting, are abiding by the law. When you're big, oh. Laws are meant for the poor people. But you see, when you're Madrid, it does not matter when what the window says. They create their own window or probably open their own door. But either ways, I've got 2 very erudite, elegant personalities in the studio with me today to discuss all that have been happening in the World Cup, in between, and all the things outside of the World Cup. First off, let's say congratulations as well to my guy in the Formula One race, Lewis Ogenekaru Hamilton, who won his first race with Ferrari. It's a beautiful one in Barcelona this weekend, and I was very, very excited. The black man that was robbed with that whole safety car in Abu Dhabi. We'll talk about that later. But then I've got a future MTN brand ambassador, a future MTN COO or CFO, whatever they would want to give him. But this man is not looking the part. It's not looking like a board member, a director somewhere there. Emmanuel Sebastian. Emmanuel, how you doing?
I mean, what an introduction. I mean, the last time I was here was when I promised I was going to do the show on my singlets if Arsenal going to win the league and Champions League.
We did win it, so that reminds us.
I just had to remind the viewers the last time I was on the show. But I mean, good to be back. A lot has been happening.
A lot of people were waiting for that one. Or that God, it's the only thing that even those that were with hate watching us now, it's the only thing that they regret about. How's it been? Like, you went back to school.
Yeah.
Like, this is like doing an MBA. This is like doing a master's degree. How's it been like for you?
Well, it's been a wonderful experience. First off, for those of you who don't know, it's the MTN Media Innovation Program. So it's fully funded, a 6-month scholarship by MTN for journalists, media practitioners, content creators, digital creators, and all that. So, I mean, how it came about, it was not something I've been preparing for years.
Forget, they use Juju, get out.
It's not something
people have been applying for this thing like every year. They know they select them.
I saw, I mean, it was Tega. Your sister, like you normally call her. I saw her.
No, I don't normally call her. Now my sister, my mama, and sister. So that's how we became sisters.
You know, people just feel okay.
We are both basketball grandchildren. No?
Yeah. So I saw it on our WhatsApp status. I saw the flyer, and I'm like, okay, I want to give this a try. No much talk, no much discussion. And I heard she said she was part of the last cohort. I should give it a go. That's it. No tips or any serious inquiries and all that. And I applied. That was a day before it was put out on social media that application is now open. Though it's been open, but it's not been broadcasted. So I applied. Then the next...
You're like Davido and Femi Tedola. You did the private IPO.
So I just applied on the website, and the next couple of days, it was broadcasted out there, the application is open. Then after that, few weeks, then alumni did like a meeting, an online meeting to advise applicants on what to do on the application and what not to do. See me where they already apply. Now I don't miss these tips, but I don't apply. I say, I don't apply. Make it, whether the tips go work, I don't apply. And all of that. Then I applied, then I got the mail that I've been selected. It was like phases of selection process. So the first phase that you've been selected, then they will give you an essay to write, give you a topic in the media space to write an essay, with some restrictions, like 500 words, focus on the topics and all that. Different topics for different people. So
What was your topic?
it was about telecommunication, how you use telecommunication data, to solve some particular problem in a society. I've forgotten the word for word now, but it's around telecommunication and media.
Solution provider.
Yeah, solutions to some few problems and all that. So I wrote the essay. If they get back to you, you've got into the next phase. If they don't,
Kadara.
so people felt that was kind of harsh. I mean, even if I no pass, at least reach out to me, man, to say.
No, if I not reach out to you not pass. If you pray, if you see the result, God will answer that. If you not see the result, God
because
God
they made it clear
that
if you don't get it, that means you. So I waited. I was hoping, and I got a mail that I've got into the next phase. They saw my essay and they're like, so the next phase was a virtual interview and all that. So that's the next phase. So
now you will kill him.
And I mean, I was ready for it. And after the virtual interview, on the night, I got the final mail, got my admission letter that I've been selected. That's crazy. People on social media, on their Instagram page, they were camped in their comments, waiting for the next update and all of that. So when it was announced, people that didn't even follow me, that we don't know me from anywhere, it's like, boy, how far? I said, they don't send me letter. So somebody reached out and like, you don't need to do this thing for like 5 years. They never select her. Our own Nengi as well reached out that she applied a couple of years before.
Nengi will get it next time.
She didn't get it. And a couple of other people.
She don't join the winning team.
She know is in here as well.
Yeah.
She applied. She didn't. Different essay topics though.
Yeah.
But, she didn't get it and she's been applying. Not like I did anything special,
Yeah. You wrote well.
I know my essay was, and no AI, like you have to, it was written because, there are AI detectors out there. If you use AI to create, they would fish it out that this is AI detected and all that. So it was wonderful, and that was how I got in. The first few weeks, it was the award nights, before we got in at the MTN rooftop where the LIS was held recently. So it was. I felt fulfilling.
Yeah.
And top US 25 over 5,000 applicants, like 25 selected, and these are guys in the media space who are like top guys, people. Fisa is a digital creator. You should know Fisa. Reviews for
without further ado.
Yeah, you get. So it's part of my cohort as well. There's David Elomuno as well, also a digital creator. In the last cohort, there was Salem. Yeah. So these are people in the media space who are doing well. Though we are occupied majorly by guys from print journalists, from the print side of journalism, but they've got few digital creators and all that. But I'm the only sports person in my cohort. As a commentator,
that's huge, bro.
I applied as a commentator, and
huge.
It was specifically mentioned to me that I'm unique during my virtual interview. That they saw the uniqueness in what I do, and this is why.
And also, it brings like a different diversity to the whole program
and all that. So like, I'm feeling myself there, kind of.
You've earned it. You've earned it. It's not just feeling yourself. It's the fact that you've earned it. You've earned it. It's as simple as that.
Let
me jump in here. Now that everybody is seeing him on the screen, is your regular professor, the Akokai, the man himself. I think that somewhere in the future of this man, it would either be a guest lecturer at the university, or because he does have this thing in him where he's got the ability to break things down. I pride myself as the best football analyst. I don't care whether you agree with me or you don't. But when I listen to him, I enjoy his positions. Sometimes we could be at very opposite ends, but the way he extrapolates informations and data, and the way he enunciates these things, the cadence with which he puts it out there, and the flow, just makes me love listening to him. I was telling myself that if this guy have a podcast, I'll be addicted to his podcast. Mikolo, that's what you like to call him, but I'm privileged to be among those who can call him Michael Adegbile. Michael Adegbile, you've been in this industry. You've been everywhere. You've been a producer, editor, reporter, presenter. You've been on TV. You've been on radio. You've done everything. And you've also been a very top man creating content for some of the top clubs in the league. When this type of opportunities come and somebody very close to you gets it, because I'm beginning to say that we must learn how to rejoice at the success of people around us. It is very important. We were not raised like that. So people don't understand that. I was talking to somebody today about family trauma, generational trauma. I think you're listening to me. we're not raised to rejoice at people's success. We're raised to, when somebody else is succeeding, we start saying, "What of me?"
Yeah.
If you look at children, observe children. If you have 5 children, 6 children, you go and buy biscuit and give to 2. The other ones will be sad. What I mean, what I mean, people don't. You get, we were 5 before, we didn't have that. 2 people have. Oh, let me be happy for you. We don't have that. You know, when you look at people around you succeed, and it's got nothing to do with Emmanuel, just you see that, oh, this content creator is not earning good money. This one is not being able to travel, go the world, go see the World Cup. How do you react to it?
I think it comes from a place of genuine excitement because it then means that more people are doing more things. It also opens up more opportunities in the space. For example, last year there was no sports creator in this program. This year there's a sports creator. Emmanuel represents our entire industry. Next year there could be 2 sports creators. There could be 3 sports creators. They might actually have overlooked a lot of creators because they didn't know what we're bringing to the table when it concerns sports. They just be like, oh, what is actually a sports creator?
What are they doing?
And all of those kind of things. So also this whole ability of trying to be happy for people, I think it also comes from a place of being secure in yourself, right? I feel like if you think of yourself as a failure, you tend to project that insecurity on other people. Yeah, so it's just as simple as that. So if you focus on your journey, be secure in yourself, just have this confidence, right? And confidence comes from evidence. It comes from doing. Confidence comes from you, first of all, recognizing the ability that you have. Right. It also helps you not to get jealous. Just get excited for people and get happy for people. It also comes from a place of upbringing, right? I grew up with my mom being one of the kindest people I know. My mom can live with whatsoever person, and I'm dead serious. Right? My mom is the kind of person that can accommodate anybody. She's excited for you. On my mom's street currently, they are like students because it's close to a student area. There are people that take care of my mom big on longer days when I'm not even there. Like they are children, they are literal children. My mom has a party and 4 or 5 students are going to a family party with her, right? They are buying packs of drinks in my mom's house to say this is what you should share there, right? So that I come from somebody like that. So you should understand where I come from when it feels like, oh, I've got a very big heart and all those kind of things. But professionally, I think it comes from a place of being secure, right? If you come to a place of being secure where you know your abilities, you've also proven yourself, you've pushed yourself to it. I feel like if you get jealous, it means you're not maximizing your own potential. It means you feel like you don't want to put in the effort, but you are envying the results that the person is getting, right? Because you are not getting results your own self.
So for those who are out there who are watching us, let me tell you guys why I asked Mikolo this question. So my first work with Mikolo, I mean, beyond here was, see, the thing about traveling to go work is that you see people in either their true elements or in elements that you will say to yourself, I can't work with this person. Yeah. So I went to WAFCON and I saw how excited Mikolo was at every increase in our subscribers numbers. Now let me make you understand how interesting this is. Mikolo is a YouTuber like me. So I didn't give him any terms of reference. I didn't tell him, oh, when you go and do video, you cannot put on your own. Where I used to work, that's a taboo. It's a taboo to even call your social media handles, right? So, but I didn't want to put any restrictions. I've always said that if I hire you, the first thing is I want you to be yourself. Do everything you know how to do. I can only correct. I can only tell you, I don't think this is right. I think we should change this. If you see how happy this guy is, every time we refresh the page and the number goes up by 10 or by 15, you can't hide genuine happiness.
Despite knowing that that's the same thing.
That's the same thing he desire. That would be good for him. And then when Joy is, Joy goes, he records Joy and he uploads the video and the video numbers are going up and people are seeing Joy. And I remember when I told him, don't put picture. Anyhow you upload it, let Joy be the face of the video. Because for me, it's more important that our team, people on our team are more popular than, you go take one picture of one player. Everybody already know these players. Let's get these people. You could see that happiness when Joy was feeling pain on her legs. You could see the pain on him. And I was like, okay, I've got somebody on my team that this guy is a leader, right? So thank you for being that kind of guy. That's why I asked that question. Now let's come to the World Cup. Yeah, I mean, the World Cup started like a tsunami happened. Like, this World Cup is not even going to hold. At some point, we're hearing people talking about let's boycott, let there be boycott. Iran is not going to participate. I won't lie. The kind of things that have happened between Iran and the US, Iran is a great nation. I don't care what anybody say. They are a great nation. This was an open opportunity to say, don't go.
Fuck off, man.
We were not going, and there's nothing anybody can say or do.
They'll damn
But-
the consequences.
Yes, they'll damn the
and even the
consequences.
ban that's coming from FIFA.
Let it come.
Yeah.
You understand? And then it could also be another reason to escalate the war. But guess what? They stay true to the spirit of the game. If there is a country that deserves to be awarded fair play award,
yeah.
I think
Iran.
it is Iran.
Yeah.
Then they came and a player and officials were denied access. Not only that, they are playing their matches in US, they are the only country who are not allowed to stay in the country where they are
US.
playing their matches. They are in Mexico, and they are told that anytime they come to play their game, that same evening they should
must
fly
leave.
out. Look at all the stress you have to go through, which means that Iran is the only country that will participate in this tournament without a recovery process.
And without fans.
Without fans as well.
Yeah.
But they stay true to the spirit of the game. So the first opening games, the first few games that have happened, Mikolo, how's it been for you?
I think it's just like what I said last week. I feel like the moment the game is kicked, the game has a spirit of its own. Football has a big spirit of its own. I remember, like I said last week, leading up onto Qatar World Cup, there was a lot of things. So they were using people and all those kind of things. The moment the game started, everybody was just very excited about football. And it's the same thing that happened, right? People were looking forward to what's going to happen. We are doing this, we are doing that. Oh, this is going to be the World Cup. The audiences. There was even a mini incident at the Kansas base of England and all of those kind of things. But all of that switched the moment Mexico got into that stride, and the Mexican crowd, man, they were really top.
No, it's Mexico and 53 African countries. Come on.
The Mexican wave continuously it was from them and all of that, and then from that goal scored. Especially the fact that the whole Africa was watching South Africa. So, I mean, scoring those 2 goals was just very exciting. Raul Jimenez also getting the second goal. And, what a story, from 2020 when I think he broke his face and had to wear mask all through. And then eventually representing them. Then our South African brothers collected 2 red cards.
They have to go back.
2 red cards so that they can go back. They want to quickly go back. Yeah, they want to quickly go back. So, I mean, excitement all around. South Africa, Mexico game. Then there was also Morocco holding up their own against
Almighty Brazil.
Against Almighty
I
Brazil.
think we'll come to that.
I think the 2 games that have really stood out for me is just basically, aside the first game that is obviously on 8 then there's Morocco versus Brazil, and then the one I watched last night as well, which was between Netherlands and Japan. Top game of football.
What a game that was.
That was really a game.
Emmanuel, let me come to you.
Yeah.
Key moments for this World Cup. And I like what you're doing on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
I like the way you give your take. I've always looked forward to that. We've quarreled about it, right?
Emmanuel has been
I say, Emmanuel, what is wrong with this
It's
Emmanuel?
so nice to see.
He just hiding this fine face, fine boy, just being lazy.
So nice to
We're
see.
racing to grow in this place, and Emmanuel is not doing anything.
Nah.
But I think he saved the best for the last, and everything is working well. Thank you very much for doing what you do. For those of you out there, you can, Emmanuel, let them know what your social media handles are. They can come and listen to your lovely takes. What has been your, high points from the World Cup so far? I don't think there are low points yet. But what has been your high point from the start to now?
So many high points. I mean, like Mikolo mentioned, first off, the love of the sports.
Did you do hate watch? Do you have it in you to do hate watch?
To be honest,
you don't have the capacity to.
I don't have. I
You're
don't have
too
the capacity.
nice.
Especially when it comes to we know what Morocco did. But you can't
Yeah, I
hate
know.
watch-
No, I can't hate
you
watch
can't
Morocco.
hate
Touch
that
Morocco.
team, man.
No, I
Because
can't-
people were saying the
Morocco.
towel incidents and all that, but I mean, those guys.
If you
are
went to
something else.
Morocco, I've said this thing before. I said if you went to Morocco, you are from Nigeria, and you experienced Morocco the way we did. Let's not forget that
I can't hate
me and
watch
Mikolo and Joy, we experienced 2 phases of Morocco:
Yeah.
the July
Rough one,
Morocco and the cold, the hot warm Morocco and the cold Morocco. But the people are consistently the same: loving, kind, accommodating, beautiful. I don't feel hate watch those kind of people.
So I can't.
It's
hate
like
watch
trying
it.
to hate watch Brazil. I
You know,
can't.
Like you mentioned, maybe we'll come to that Brazil game. But my high moments for me, I mean, what I do, my love for Nigerian players, not just Super Eagles, but players of Nigerian descent.
Saw your Fulari Balogun
how
video.
I follow them across the globe. And I was asked on News Central, Nigeria didn't qualify. How are you going to cope with it? And I mentioned one of these. I mean, the fact that Nigerians are not there, see, the Super Eagles is not there. There are players of Nigerian descent who are going to play for other countries. Whether we like it or not, they have Nigerian blood in them running through their veins. So I'm just going to keep up with that. And the love of the sports too in general. But I mean, Fulari Balogun did justice. I mean, the USA, they've given us the most swashbuckling performance so far this World Cup.
Oh,
They
them and
breezed
Germany.
past Paraguay. Yeah, them and because I mean, why I didn't say Germany because it was
Because of the
Curacao.
opening.
Yeah.
But this is
Curacao.
Paraguay, USA. That performance was fantastic. The pace of the United States team, how they outrun Paraguay for the whole 90 minutes, and 3 goals in the first half. So many historic moments for Alim Barongo. Looking at the fact, I mean, you should know him. He was a Hale end kid
Yeah.
at Arsenal. He was sent out on loan severally, but it was his story how he was born. His mom was heavily pregnant.
If Donald
Yeah.
Trump was
And,
the president
you know,
that time, he would not be
They
playing
would-
for
they would
Nigeria.
not have scored two goals.
So I love such stories, and the fact that he's Nigerian, born of a Nigerian parents as well. So the whole thing, that's been the high moments, and the fact that he scored twice, the first American to score multiple goals in over how many years, and for the fact that he's a Nigerian American who did that. So that's been my high. I'm trying not to politicize this, but
But
yeah,
it's
that's been my high moment for me. I think for Larry Balogun moment for USA.
So let's come to the Morocco game now.
Yeah.
At the last World Cup in 2022 in Qatar,
Yeah.
we saw how Morocco breezed past opposition, and Morocco was that team that nobody saw coming.
Yeah.
You never saw me coming. It was the kind of team that they were, and they will come, sit back. I remember my interview with Joseph Antoine before the AFCON started, when I asked him, what type of Morocco are we going to see compared to the one in 2022 at the World Cup? And he said that the difference between that Morocco and this Morocco will be that in that Morocco of the World Cup, people didn't expect anything from them. They were dark green horse. Nobody wanted them. Nobody looked at them with seriousness.
Yeah.
But at the AFCON, everybody now have high expectation. Beyond being the host, they've gone to the semi-finals of the World Cup. So anybody who's playing them will come prepared like, oh, this is that team that took out Portugal and Spain.
Yeah.
Don't joke with them. You have to be as good as France to beat them, right? And during the AFCON, they didn't play that swashbuckling football. They were not exciting that much, but they got all the way to the finals. They lost the trophy on the field and won it in the boardroom, right? So we have 2 African champions at this World Cup. Now, what kind of draw would it be that your first game is against 5-time champion Brazil? Like it or not, they still have some very solid players. They have Vinicius Junior. They have top players. Yes,
Yeah.
you have a Saibari who is not going to Bayern, but if you compare the squad of Morocco to Brazil, there's almost nothing. But then the game started. Nicolo, for you, how was that game?
I think it was a realization moment for a lot of football fans, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Europeans finally find out about Moroccans, or even Africans finding out how good Morocco are technically on the ground stage. Because I mean, going into the game, it was easy for me to watch South Africa, right? Because I just knew that maybe they are not as technically as good as we hype them up to be, right? We saw them at the AFCON. The best thing they probably did in the last few years is the fact that they took the ticket ahead of Nigeria because of our own inefficiencies and all of that. But going into the Brazil versus Morocco game, I just knew, right? I said it that Morocco is not the team to watch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nah, not at all. Got to the final of the AFCON, got to the semi-finals. On what basis are you trying to watch them? Right, on what basis are you trying to hope they're going to crash out like South Africa in the group stages, while the precedent has been that literally in the last World Cup they were in the semi-finals? So you cannot say you want to throw them. So coming into the game, I knew it was going to be tough, but also I just thought that it was going to be tougher for Morocco. Right, I thought the people that were going to do the chasing will be the Moroccans, because obviously there's world talent in the Brazil squad. There's the like of Vinicius, there's the like of Paqueta, all of these guys that play in the Premier League, all of this Gabriel Marquinhos just won 2 Champions League back to back. There's Alisson that's kept for Liverpool for how many years?
Rafinha.
So I mean, there's Rafinha with what he's playing with Barcelona and all of those guys. World Cup Ballon d'Or contender last season, right? Before Dembele won it, that was the guy that was supposed to be pushed instead of Lamine Yamal and all of those kind of things. So world beaters, right? And all of that. Igor Thiago also just came off a 20+ goal season with Brentford. So I thought it was going to be
in the Premier League.
In the Premier League. So I thought it was Brentford, it was Brazil that was going to do the pumping, and Morocco has to take. But what I saw in that game was the total opposite, right? They made Brazil look like an ordinary side, save for those spectacular moments, that including the one with Vinicius scored, because that was such a world-class moment. That's what dictates that's what differentiates World Cup players from normal players. The ability to grab the game by the horn and just go for it, right? So that was the equalizer by Vinicius. That's the standout moment that we can see from that game. I think the rest of what looks very impressive to me on that night came from Morocco, and also the goal testifies to that. The brilliance of the pass from Brahim Diaz to find Ismail Sabari in between the defenders. That's such a brilliant move, right? The assist itself is as good as the goal because there's Gabriel, there's Marquinhos, two world-class defenders. He was running in between them as a normal striker would, and Brahim Diaz had the technique, right, to find him
place the ball
in perfectly in. Like when I kept watching the goal, I was very impressed, right, because it takes a certain level of IQ to be able to place that pass. Gabriel, as the LCB, was facing here, which means this is his blind side, right? Marquinhos was supposed to cover up Saibari, but the pace was just too much for him. Brahim Diaz put it perfectly in his path, right, and he finished perfectly beyond Alisson. So that was such a great moment. I think another thing that's worthy of praise is 18-year-old Ayub Boadi, right? So this is a guy that in March 2026, March this year, he was the captain of under 21 for France, right? And then in June 2026, he's starting a game. Not just natural, like not just decided to play for Morocco. He's starting in the first game of the World Cup. That took against Brazil, right? So that took a lot of balls. Must have convinced them so much in training. I mean, he must have been that guy for you to say this is the guy that we're going for against Brazil. So I think that's also the revelation of the tournament, revelation of that game for a lot of people, and so many eyes will now be on him. I expect him to get a better deal after this World Cup because that's typically what happens after World Cup. People always wait for the World Cup to go. The only people that are not waiting now, Cody Gakpo as well at the Euros as well. So the only people that are not waiting for after World Cup right now is the almighty Real Madrid, right? So whatever it is, they stick by it. So they have
Emmanuel, let me come to you. You know, relating to how we behave in this part of the world. Yakubu Ayegbeni missed a goal, and that was the end for him. Sani Keita picked up a red card. Wasn't a bad thing that he picked up a red card, right? But we ended his career, and I can go on and on and on and on to mention players like that we've treated like that. Brahim Diaz had a chance to win the AFCON
on the field,
and all these protests would not have this conversation. Morocco will be champion. They've not won it since 1976. He went to play the worst penanka ever.
I agree.
Do you think that as a Nigerian, they would even think of inviting him to this camp, not talk of taking him to the World Cup?
I mean, that's what we do. That's what we are known for. I mean, we've ostracized so many players for some moments that you can pardon, in football games. Talk about Yakubu Ayegbeni. We've heard him speak about it, that till today, he's still being criticized for that.
Yeah, it's strange. And if you think of the kind of goals that he scored,
outrageous goals, not just for the Super Eagles, for club size as well. The caliber of clubs he's played for as well.
And they want to bury his career because of that chance.
But Brahim Diaz, I mean, he's a fantastic player on his day, and I don't think, I never thought Morocco will ostracize him the way they did, even though there were so many conspiracy theories about the penalties, that he was intentional, it was this, that he's been spoken to not to score and all that. We heard a whole lot.
What did you not hear?
During that penalty.
What did you not argue?
Timothy and our producer.
Bro, guys, I think it's time to inform guys that in Morocco we argued from that final till we go back to Nigeria.
I'm just reminiscing that moment now.
No, this past week, what I did was feast on all the work. You know that I've not play back all those videos that we did when we were outside stadium doing stuff.
Yeah.
I cried. I watched that thing, and because I was seeing what people were doing. It's good to watch football from other sources. I've always consumed football from European media. British media to be exact. If it's not Sky Sports, it's not being, it's ITV, if it's not ITV, just in British media. This World Cup, I decided I want to consume from the American media. I want to see how they do their turnaround production. So when you start doing this job, everything is an opportunity to learn. And I saw the way ESPN, Fox, TSN, Telemundo Sports, CBS were doing their production, and I was like, I think if I want to do any, I sent something to the group. You saw it, right? Yeah. I was asking the production team if we can achieve this. I started saying, you know what? I think we should deviate from it because almost everybody is doing exactly this European style. And if we want to stand that, maybe we should shift. And so I was watching all of this thing. And as the World Cup, when I saw that pass by Brahim Diaz, I was like, a country like Nigeria should learn something from Morocco. It's not just about hate watching, about doing meme and trolling people. There are some things to learn. you don't always throw away the baby with the bathwater
Yeah.
because the bathwater is very dirty. Sometimes you come to the realization that this is sports. There is more to it than just this game. There's more to it than just winning this tournament. And that's why when I was at the LIS, I like some of the things that the directors, general of sports, Honorable Bukola Olakpade said. We should stop thinking that sports is about media, podium placement, medal winning. We should also think about development, creating network, unity, relationship, and all that. It was beautiful.
So talking about Brahim Diaz and things to learn, there's this, coming to the Super Eagles. I mean, at the time, there was a talk that we had too many foreign-born players in the Super Eagles squad. They don't have the passion.
Morocco went to only one Morocco-based.
That's where I'm going. At some point in that game against Brazil, their entire 11 were foreign-born.
Yeah.
No player
76
born
minutes,
in Morocco.
Yeah.
So it tells you if you utilize, foreign nationals
They've
really well.
upped it. Now it's the reverse thing. It's what the Europeans used to do to us.
And now that's
they've
what they are
reversed
doing.
it,
The
yeah.
top 2 teams in Africa has more foreign bonds in their team. Senegal as well. They have more foreign bonds in their team. So that's why sometimes when I look at people criticize the foreign players we have in the Super Eagles national team,
But I like to make a correction about that.
They raised our levels actually.
They raise our level sometimes, but it depends on
No,
how
they
you
didn't raise
use-
our
how you
level.
use-
I
how
don't
you
agree that
utilize
they
it.
raised our level
They did.
because
They did.
our level was qualifying for the World Cup and winning the AFCON. That's
in terms
the
of
level.
the
So
the
to raise
performance
it-
on the pitch, yeah.
To raise it, performance on the pitch, to raise it, you have to get to quarterfinal of the World Cup and semi-finals of the World Cup. The round of 16 was what the born in Nigerians achieved and won the AFCON. These guys did not do that. So let's not even bring that raise the level. But this is what I want to point out. In Morocco, one of the cleaners in our house, in our apartment in Manzil, both in last July and in December, when we went to Casablanca, is a Senegalese woman. I've forgotten her name now. She's a Senegalese lady, that black tall lady.
yeah.
She's a Senegalese woman. When we talk, she speaks French, Senegalese French, and all that. We talk. She has my number. We communicate. She wants to start, selling things to Nigerian markets. So she talks to me. Some people have even bought from her. Now, one of the things I noticed with most other nationals, Indians, Lebanese, Arabs, is that they raise their children anywhere in the world with the same culture and orientation as they are at home.
Yeah.
Nigerians are the only national, but there are a lot of Igbos and Yorubas who do it better.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of Nigerians raising their children abroad. They'll tell you how Nigeria is a zoo,
demonize the
how it's
country.
evil. You cannot make a child love a country that you demonize.
True.
Those children for Senegal, for Morocco, for Egypt and the rest, they go back home for holiday with love and desire to want to go home. The Nigerian one is when most of them bring their children home, it's like punishment. You see 154. David Oyelewo was there. You see when most people come talk about how their parents raised them, how their Nigerian parents raised them, it's always, the tone is always negative about the behavior, embarrassment, shame. You won't see an Arab child say that. You won't see an Indian child say that. Maybe the Chinese also say that in comedy sometimes, but most times it is all love. I've seen Yvonne Oji say the thing she say. I've seen what's it called? Yashiri, that comedian, talk about the mom. It's a joke, but you can see how they feel embarrassed by their Nigerian parents' upbringing. We saw David Oyewole's own about the mom dancing, coming for the wedding, and all those noise.
Singing.
So we must understand that if we change, we can't change the ones that have already happened, but we can change now. I was just talking to someone this morning about there is this thing that most people do when a guy and a girl is dating. You see the girl demonizing her brothers, her mom, her dad. They will not get married. The husband will start disrespecting the parents because of how you have, brought down your parents. You start saying the guy is bad. No, you're the one that sold your parents. And now the guy also starts treating you bad because he knows that there is a disconnect between you and your family. There's nobody that can come and call him to order, because you must also know all of those things. Those are some of the things that affect us. So if you look at the Moroccan players, even though they were born and raised abroad, they are connected to their country. You look at our player. I saw Omar Katuba interview quite a few of these foreign ball. Folari Balogun, for instance, that central defender that played for AC Milan, that Chelsea central defender, Tomori. And one constant thing, Bukayo Saka also said the same thing. One constant thing is that I grew up here. I don't really know anything about that country. Yeah, my mom and my dad say one or two things, but I don't know anything about that country. So this is where I grew up, and this is where I choose to play.
I think Saka's zone is quite different.
Yeah, so some of those things are the elements you must look at in comparison. We can't change what has already happened, but I think we can change the stories going forward. Even though Nigeria as a country gives you little or nothing to want to talk. Because if you are from Morocco, you always praise Morocco. The country is a beautiful country. It can match up to any European country. But you can't say Nigeria.
And it adds to that desire to also want to come back and represent the country.
And I think their facilities and also the project that they have going on will convince anybody to come play for them. Especially somebody like Ayub, right? The Buadik boy will just look at the country, look at the progress that's currently going, look at the project.
And you saw how they hosted the AFCON.
Look
and
at
see the facilities that
look
they
at
have.
the complex. Look at the complex. See what people are saying about the country. Just be like, nah, this is a project that is on the rise that wants to join, right? They will have probably spoken to him also about the fact that they're hosting the World Cup in 2030. You can be a big part of that. You're currently 18 by then.
Poster boy of the World Cup.
You're 22 by then. So you're coming back to your country. You're coming back to come and play for us. We're hosting the World Cup. We need you as part of this. Also, the current coach was former coach of the under 20. So must have been on their radar somehow to try to invite him. Maybe as a client before then, because he was still captain of under 21 of France, right? And now it's coming to play for them. So the project is very exciting. It's very interesting that they want to come back and play, right? I feel like also with the Nigerian players that came here, just like what you said, so there's a bit of appealness the way they grew up, right? I've heard Bukayo Saka say that his parents are basically still treating them with Nigerian way. Ola Aina has also said the same thing. So I mean, Bukayo Saka is just very different because as an academy boy, he broke into the England team very naturally. I've seen Olaino. There's Eberichi as well. I've seen Noni Madueke. I've seen the old Fufu jokes about Eddie Nketiah as well, Ghanaian boy, how they grew up as island kids, bringing food together. Their parents are even friends. All of these guys, right? Raised as Nigerians in that kind of same neighborhood. So I feel like we can see it's very obvious the Nigerians that grew up with connection here, right? You see them use Nigerian songs. Bukayo Saka came to Bariga. Right, he came to Bariga. Was it last year or last 2 years? Like
last 2 years.
That's like my hood. I saw the pictures of him places I would normally pass. I'm like, what is Saka doing in Bariga and all those kind of things? So, I mean, so those are players that still have like connections to the roots. Obviously, Morocco is also bringing their own players back, and I think it's just very beautiful. It's just very, very beautiful for them.
Again, I think we should build a country where we can also build infrastructure. It's not enough to say foreign-born players or the parents should connect them to Nigeria. You can't connect anybody to a country where they get light. You can't connect. No, not true. You can't connect anybody to a country where if you come now, you go come pay ransom.
Or the news, the news that they see where they see from them is that this is a red zone.
So those are some of the things that would hurt you. But let's go on this break. When we come back, I'm going to go to Twitter. And we'll look at Brazil, we'll extract Brazil. Me and you, Emmanuel, we've talked so many times and I said, I do not support the idea of Brazil going to get Carlo Ancelotti or a European coach. You don't give cutlass to the man who has promised to use your head for sacrifice and tell the person where you will sleep. And then you go and sleep with your eyes closed. My brother, they will use your head for that sacrifice. But then I would take it from an honorable member of the House of Assembly, National House of Assembly, the Green Chamber, what he has to say, a diehard fan of 3SC and a diehard fan of Manchester United. I guess you already know what I'm talking about. Somebody that our sponsors would consider a competition, if there is anything like that, but it doesn't mean that what he says should not be talked about. So when we come back from this break, we'll go to the thoughts of Honorable Oloye Akin Alabi, what he has to say about Brazil, and I'll like you guys to share your thoughts. Let's go on this break. Welcome back, and it's been beautiful to see all the opportunities that you can have. The World Cup is not just for you to passionately watch. If you have the opportunity to bet, please bet, but bet wisely. Bet WGB still the wise choice, and remember to log into our online platform and then follow us across all social media platform. And you can be a winner as the players are winning. The winner of this World Cup will go home with $50 million. Damn. Let's say that country have a deal in place to say 30% of that money go to the players. What's 30% of $50 million again?
That's 30
5,
million.
10, 15. That's 15 million, right?
Thereabouts, yeah.
$15 million to be shared by 26 players. Well, I don't want to do that kind of maths. Let me go to the internet. Let me go to Twitter and bring for you what Honorable Oloye Akinlabi have to say about Brazil. First off, are you impressed by Brazil? Let me ask you, Emmanuel. Are you impressed?
To be honest, I wasn't. I wasn't. That first game, I wasn't. The midfield wasn't compact enough. They struggled to create. It was just a moment of brilliance from Vinicius that gave them that point. The second half, kind of slight defensive stability, but overall, I wasn't impressed.
Nicolo, you?
No, not yet. I think Paqueta did a very bad job in the creative midfield.
Were you angry
I'm
that
expecting Neymar to be fit.
you
to
watched
slot in
them
there.
through your malaria? When you should have been sleeping.
On the flip side, I'm happy I watched Morocco.
Oh, okay. That I can't take away. But this is how Honorable Akinlabi looked at it, and it's just exciting. I mean, Akinlabi is always going to be my guy. I mean, he said, as a young boy growing up in the 1980s and a teenager in the early 90s, one of the things I look forward to most during every FIFA World Cup was watching Brazil play. They were the Samba boys. It was a spectacle. Their football was joyful and artistic. It was played with flair, imagination, and confidence. Every touch seemed to carry a touch of magic. The names still bring back memories. Socrates in midfield, Zico with the vision. Later came Romario, Bebeto. Then arrived Ronaldo and Rivaldo, carrying the Brazilian tradition into a new era while still preserving the essence of what made Brazil special. Need I add Ronaldinho and Kaká? So he said today the excitement is gone. Modern Brazilian football appears to have surrendered much of its identity. The influence of European football has transformed the way Brazilians players are developed and how a greater emphasis on physical conditioning, tactical discipline, defensive structure, and systems. While these elements are important, they seem to have come at the expense of creativity and spontaneity. Damn. Akinlabi, you can write. I give you credit for that one. He said the modern winger wants the symbol of Brazilian football really excites in same way. Gone are the days when a wide player would repeatedly beat the fullback, race to the byline, and square play to teammates. We miss the Brazil that danced with the ball. We miss the Brazil that made us count down the days to the World Cup. Summer, Brazil is no longer Brazil. This is Honorable Akinlabi. He say he's a football fan from Ibadan, right? That's how he ended that message. And that brings a lot of thought because it's the summary of what I've been saying for the last couple of years. I started raising this alarm on the Sports Lounge. If you remember, with Bamiji and Precious Omosuwe at Real, I said, European football is going to destroy Brazilian football. And once they succeed in doing that, the only one they can't touch is Argentina. Because the Argentines, they are stubborn in their ways. They would do their own thing. They will always produce the next Maradona, the next Messi, the next Saviola, the next Aguero, and all of that. Tevez and, Mario Kempes. Now, looking at this observation from Akinlabi, what you know me to have said over the years, did Brazil make the right choice in getting Don Carlo Ancelotti? And this team that you have seen, is there a room for us to experience the creativity that Akinlabi is crying for?
That Brazilian team, yeah. The fact that we are not OGs like Akinlabi and like yourself, but
This is a sign I'm old.
Even at that, the Brazilian team.
But you watch Kaká, Rivaldo,
exactly. I'm
Ronaldo,
coming there as well. Like the 2002 World Cup in Korea, Japan. Where they won.
That team.
You know, the Brazil team are known to have players that are exciting to watch. Players with flair, skills, dribbling, you know, IQ and all of that. I look at a Brazil squad. No disrespect to players like Igor Thiago.
Oh God!
But you know, the Brazil I know won't have a
You
striker.
said Igor Thiago only scores when you are not watching.
They have a striker. Yes, credit to what he did at Brentford this season. But I mean,
who said that?
the way
People
He
are
said if the
brutal.
game is on TV, doesn't score.
you know. So I've to cut him some
That
slack.
thing landed late.
to cut Don Carlos some slack, yeah. Maybe still early days, but he's the first few games he's played, I've not been impressed, and I can't remember the last time Brazil have had a foreign coach. I think
This is the first one.
It should be like over more than 100 years or so or thereabout, and Carlos, that's huge pressure on him as well, and it's not been a good start. It's not been convincing as well. You know, look at that Brazil lineup. No player that I could see why Neymar is there, because personally, if you ask me, Neymar has no business at the World Cup. He's done, like he's lost it. To be honest, Neymar's lost it. So I could see why they brought Neymar back
He
to the squad.
lost
He's not the Neymar. To be honest, for me.
Until he plays.
No, to be honest, for me, he's lost it. But I could see why he
I
was
don't think
brought back
he's
to the
lost it.
squad.
Not before where all these boys are doing.
Yeah,
Maybe that's the thing.
point.
But look at this. Look at this. Which flair player can you look at? Ibanez
Vinicius Junior.
Only Vini.
I think Rafinha is supposed to be a flair player, but I just think that he's
No,
not
he's too
placed
direct.
in
He was-
the right position.
He was stifled in that game against Morocco.
It's too
Ibanez, credit
direct.
to him. Yeah, he's a centre back. It's sad to see him at right back, but I mean, he couldn't play anything else.
The
But,
man that
you know,
is
so-
supposed to lead the flair or the entertainment or the show, the
Yeah.
guy is supposed to be the showmaker in this field, is Paqueta.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
so
got,
I think
so a lot needs to happen with this Brazilian team. That's why I said to cut Don Carlos some slack. It's still early days, but this
What
is
is
the
that?
World Cup.
Brazilians that
Brazil
are
haven't
born
won
in
the World Cup
Lagos
in how many years? So you need
24
to
years.
you need
So-
to do something. Maybe get to the semi-finals or there. But with what we've seen so far, it might just be a pipe dream. For Brazil
I
to
think
get
my
to
own
some-
angle to this is that while we want to blame Carlo Ancelotti, I think also if you look at his
Production
precedents,
line.
right, his precedents like before now, coaching Madrid, I think he was also one of those coaches that we were pumping up for saying Madrid were playing with the spirit of friendship. He didn't have tactics, right? So I feel like he gave Madrid freedom.
You know, when I hear that,
Yeah.
thing, he always
He
make me laugh.
gave them freedom,
So me
right?
not get tactics.
That's what they used to say. But I
Eh,
feel
yeah,
like
I know a lot of people say that
I feel
too.
like Madrid played a lot with confidence over the last few years that he was coached with them. Those were the days when we
Is that
looked-
not tactics?
when we said that Carlo just needs to raise an eyebrow and the players know what to do. So I believe
He better raise that eyebrow now.
I believe Carlo also has what it takes to coach a free-flowing side, right? And a free-flowing. But the thing is the availability of the players. Paqueta, Bruno Guimaraes, Casemiro. These are guys that are stifled.
Say it.
They are stifled in their way. What are these guys going to offer that we've not seen? Like, so that is the thing. Maybe they need more Brazil players, and maybe that's why the fans are also clamoring, because there was a time I remember vividly where fans were against the inclusion of likes of Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Magalhaes in their side because they felt like they didn't play enough Brazilian
You're
football.
too straight jacketed.
They didn't play enough Brazilian
Route
football.
one
Gabriel
players.
Martinelli moved from the 4th division at Ituano to Arsenal, right? So they feel like he was playing too much of British football for them to come and play to them. So I understand why now. But also, what are the available players, right? If not Vinicius, then who? Right?
Yeah.
If not Rafinha, then who? If not Igor Thiago, then maybe Hendrick, right? Hendrick is 5 foot what? Right? Igor Thiago also has a different kind of perspective to their game. I said it on the last show. The only Brazilian-like player that we currently have right now, alongside Vinicius, is Neymar, and that's why he had to come. Right? That's the only person that has the.
So they went to the
Yeah.
grave
to
to resurrect Neymar.
I think Neymar also is the person that has the balls to do whatever he wants in the Brazil team. Right? Is that guy that will play with whatever is that Eberechi Eze thinks he has. I'm calm. Right, whatever it is that happens, I'm still going to play the kind of football I want to play. So,
Nicolo, I can't forgive this offense. You just committed an offense, travesty. Like, did you just?
I did not compare.
stylishly
I did not
compare
mention
Neymar and Eze.
No,
Eze,
wait.
Eberechi Eze,
We've always said
and Neymar in the same sentence.
what
no. I just said that Eberechi plays with a nonchalance that you think is Neymar. right? So I think
only you say I think his name, and not you think his name.
All right, so
There's
the only player that has
that
gotten
very chase his name.
the only player that has gotten that access to play nonchalantly the way he should,
what guy could not be alligator
and not put so much pressure on himself, is for me is Neymar. So I feel like he needs to come in. He's also a natural leader. He might also put them on their toes and get all of them ticking, because right now there's no leader, there is no direction, there's no intuition from these players to actually
no instinctive
no instinct as well. Also, Thiago looks way off, right? It doesn't look like a guy that's trained with these players, right? There's no connection there. It just looks all over the place.
Thiago for me, I don't know. I've seen Brazil teams.
He's not a Brazil player.
Teams, and I've seen Brazilian players.
And
I've also
typical English singer,
even with his 22 goals, the highest Firmino scored in a season was 15, right? Even with his 22 goals, I don't think he has what it takes to play football Firmino.
I've seen Brazil lose 7-1, like Caracao. Right?
Yeah.
Curacao, whatever their name is. I was there. I saw the country turn into a graveyard. I see people cry. But I still like that Brazil more than this one.
Yeah. Those ones had Oscar, they had Neymar, they had all of these guys.
We grew up, the number 10 jersey was because of Pele. The number 9 jersey is because of Ronaldo da Lima.
Yeah.
There is something about Brazil that just makes you love football.
Yeah.
That Brazil is playing to the Brazil for what Real Madrid is for club, where you can't really banter them, you can't curse them, you can't hate them. That's what Brazil is for national.
I think I remember growing up when you do those paper soccer games.
Yes, you say your team is Brazil.
You put Brazil yellow and blue.
Yes.
As a kid, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old, you already
Brazil
know
was
the iconic
team.
number.
Look at this team on the screen. There's Ronaldinho, there's Ronaldo, there is
Roberto
Carlos, there's Rivaldo. Where's Kaká even?
There's Cafu.
Yes, there's Cafu. And when these guys play, I remember one interview where Cafu said that when there's Adriano is not here, Kaká is not in this picture.
Yeah.
Now that they will go to the field, go to the middle of the field, they will start forming like they are discussing. That they were not discussing anything. All they needed to do was psychologically disarm the opposition. Like, what after all the things that coach told you, you guys are still discussing something here. What do we? So you have Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Adriano, Kaká, just huddle up like that, planning. How do you deal with that? Now you now have this current squad. When you look at this current squad, you look at it like, how did we get here?
Why should I be scared of you?
I mean, what do you have that I should be scared of? And in a time where there is this conversation around Mbappe and Vinicius, who will stay at Madrid, who should be and who shouldn't be, who should be let go and who should be kept, if Vinicius and his Brazilian team repeat this type of performance in the next 2 games, unfortunately, they are going to be playing against some. Unfortunately for them, they're playing against some very weak team, and they should win, right? They should raise the ante. But they get to the round of now we have a round of 32.
Yeah.
You know, because some people don't realize that this World Cup with the
6 weeks.
12 groups, you would have 2 teams from each group qualified to make 24.
Yeah.
Then you have 8 third best placed teams. Nigeria are not so good in World Cup.
I just forgot what I was just thinking about this morning. That when we were watching the game yesterday, right,
Yes.
that I was not saying that. Germany, we were watching the game.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was like,
Germany, Curacao.
how did this Curacao qualify and Nigeria did not qualify?
No! See, when you watch
I said that
Curacao,
was what he
you
said.
can't excuse it and say they came from.
I didn't know how to start explaining. I
No,
just
you will
started
say
laughing.
they came from a side of the world where they are not
I
playing
just started
football.
laughing.
There's
Like,
only Jamaica there,
My
right?
first reaction was laughter.
But think about it that you watch that South Africa versus who did South Africa play against? Versus Mexico.
Yeah.
Remember, this Mexican team is also one of the worst Mexican teams that we've seen in a World Cup tournament since we started watching Mexico. From the Hugo Sanchez to the Javier Hernandez and the rest of them.
Charito.
This is like one of the worst Mexican teams. They were not really fantastic. They were there to be taken.
Yeah.
And South Africa, from minute 1 to minute 37, let me sound like Jose Mourinho, did not have a shot on target. They were just hopeless and useless. And then you now ask yourself, and remember, a day before, Nigeria played Portugal in an international friendly. I think maybe I'm overrating the Eagles. I think that Nigeria gave a good account of themselves. And then a couple of days, 5 or 6 days before we played Poland, we were the better team. They needed a goal from heaven. You know, they needed Thor to strike a thunder for them to be able to equalize in that game. And then you now look at this go back people.
Go back.
And you see the go backers, the way they were playing, collecting red cards, slapping people. They were so useless. This guy, the number 9, what's that name? Kester, what's his name? Lyle Foster did not touch the ball until he was substituted. It was just like, I've not seen players on the field that useless before. And then you see, Nigeria and these people were in the same group. These people have 3 points deducted from them.
And we still didn't qualify.
That's how terrible. That's how painful and sad it is.
So let's take the few remaining Africans. Tunisia were beaten 5-1. Let's forget Caracas. Germany beating them is not. It's not a big
It's
deal.
not news.
They scored. They scored against
And
Manano. The only shot they have a target.
And they're jubilating.
And they were happy with it.
Yeah.
But Tunisia. Now we have only one African win,
Yeah.
which is
Cote
Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
Egypt, Morocco drew. The other African
South
team,
Africa
South Africa lost, and Tunisia lost. How would you rate the African chances? Before this tournament started, we were giving like 3 African teams chance. So we're saying Cote d'Ivoire, Morocco and Senegal.
Yeah.
Are you still standing on that, Prince? Are you still standing on that mandate, or you are using your
mandate don't
PVC now?
shift.
No, I mean it's always going to be the same. I mean, heading into the AFCON, Morocco, Senegal, both two teams will say they are coming to the World Cup as
African
champions. But
We are too good. Such a continent will produce.
I think Mbappe.
it was Mbappe. Yeah,
mentioned it.
wasn't sure. He had to like put a caveat to
I
it.
think they are African champions. Or what happened? Okay.
So, but I mean, they're always going to be the two favorites heading into the AFCON. But with what I saw from Cote d'Ivoire against Ecuador, with the energetic attack they've got, the Diomandes, Ahmad who's coming into life.
Diomande was the reason I watched that game.
No, but I don't think Cote d'Ivoire.
But no, to be honest,
Ecuador hit the bar like 3 times.
I know.
Yeah,
but
that's where I was going.
Ecuador hit the bar like they couldn't have. They
Cote
didn't
d'Ivoire
deserve to
was not
lose
coordinated.
at the end of the day. Ecuador didn't deserve to lose.
Yes.
So, Cote d'Ivoire, they rode their luck. They got the results eventually.
But if you know Ecuador at the World Cup, they're always stubborn.
Always stubborn. I mean, it was
There
also-
was always that team that you cannot trash.
and it's good to see Valencia again.
Yeah,
Ecuador
Papa.
scored. I mean, OG in that squad. But back to the
Senior
African
man.
teams. I think Cote d'Ivoire have a chance, but the favourites always going to be Morocco and Senegal. For Tunisia, I mean, what they did at the AFCON, I don't think they've really, done well, revamped the team really well. They had a shambolic AFCON, and now they've started on a sad note at the World Cup, losing 5-1 to a Swedish side who's not been impressive under
PUBG,
Graham Potter in
yeah.
recent games as well. So losing
Graham
by
Potter now be feeling like he's a world class coach.
losing by 5-1. So Tunisia off it. So Morocco, Senegal still the favourites. Egypt as well, maybe a wild card for me, not because Mo Salah is there, but they've got Osama Sam now as their head coach. They begin with Belgium, and Egypt is another team to look out for.
May I have a
So,
different
yeah,
world,
that's it.
a different dark horse from Africa? My different dark horse would be DR Congo.
My own, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I'm with
I'm with you on the
DR
DR
Congo.
Congo.
I feel like
Egypt,
as
dark
whole
horse
thing,
go.
they
The whole
have,
thing
they
that
have,
happened,
yeah, and also like this underdog spirit about them is very, very tough. Also, forget whatever it is that has happened. Even if we are judging by just their game against Nigeria in that World Cup playoff, very good team. They had us on the back foot.
That game have no business going to penalties.
40
Referee robbed them even.
From 46 minutes, from 46 minutes, the moment we entered in the second half and Victor left, they played us like training session. That's the most embarrassing
Played us half
Nigerian
of the
match. The most Nigerian match
On all
I've seen in my
fronts,
life.
they
Like
dominated
at
us,
that
yeah.
point, the moment Osimhen was left out, or he left, or they substituted him in 45 after everything that happened
He
in the
asked
dressing
to be
room,
removed.
as happened, right? From the 46th minute to the 128th minute, we were chasing. We couldn't do anything, and the fact that they're also going as underdogs makes it very better for them. So, I mean, DR Congo is one big shout that I also feel like would surprise us at this World Cup from
What about
Africa.
Cape Verde?
Cabo Verde as well.
Problem is that they're playing against Spain.
yeah,
to start.
So, I mean, their
Sometimes
group
the
is
fixtures
also-
can just be your biggest
Yeah.
problem.
And
Yeah.
Congo is playing against Portugal.
Portugal are not very.
Yeah, Portugal midfield.
As much as I love Ronaldo, I'm a Ronaldo
You
fan.
need the blood of God.
But they had their 8 team against Nigeria's team that didn't have 3 of our biggest influential players, right? There was no Victor Osimhen.
No, they
there
were
was
saving
no,
their legs for
There
the
was
World
no
Cup.
Ademola Walkman. There was no Stanley Wabali.
They were
in
saving
goal.
their legs for the World Cup.
Nah, I don't think that's it.
So
Like,
no-
if you have Vitia, Neves, and Bruno start the game, and you can't
And
defeat
Cristiano Ronaldo
Nigeria
starts.
with the ass Tochukwu Nadi and all of those guys in midfield. Come on.
So none of us here is giving Ghana a slight.
Ghana.
Ghana.
My
Yeah.
Ghanaian brothers.
will
There's
come back,
no more Kudus.
They
They are
will come
they are
back.
banking on
They will
Antonio
also
Semenyo.
come back.
Carlos
They will
Queiroz.
come back. Carlos Queiroz is one of the worst coach in the world. But I mean, my friend and brother Osasoba, when I say you cannot be a bad coach and Real Madrid will employ you, I was like, okay, this kind of CV thing, it's like saying.
I don't want to write them off totally.
Nobody employ Soldado one time.
Not them.
They employ Soldado, employ Abelua.
So
You see, these Madrid fans going. If I come for them one day, there was one in our house that time. I used to say, the moment you sign for Madrid, you are a world class player. Hendrick now world class player. We're always in the argument.
No, Hendrick have the potential to be.
His potential, not world class.
No, not the moment when you sign.
He said the moment you sign,
he has the potential to
one.
be.
The second one is that Madrid fans are the ones always going about. No EPL player can start in our team. They don't sign like 2 now. They signed Orson from Bournemouth last year. From Bournemouth, maybe bottom in that time, they carry Orson, you go start for them. Now they don't sign Cucurella. They don't sign Bernardo.
EPL players can start for Madrid.
That time they will say, no EPL player can start in our team. Oh yeah, now. Go there.
No, that was the time that person was saying it was the Galactico era. They were.
I'm talking about last year.
Okay, well, that's what that guy says.
Madrid fans
so looking forward, how much of a miss, career-wise, is this World Cup to you? Like not being there.
Man, it's a whole lot. I reminisce myself when I see people being there covering the tournaments, doing what they do. I imagine myself being there, irrespective of the whole distractions and the build up, the England thing, the whole shooting incidents and all that. I mean, it's still the World Cup. Anything won't happen. It will still happen. It doesn't stop you from going there too. Things happen anywhere. So you just have to.
I mean, even the reporting is excitement.
It's excitement. So it's something I would love to be present in the future. But I mean, so it's a huge miss for me that I'm not there. But I enjoy. The things I see content creators put out there, people that are there, journalists covering it. I mean, look at what Molat is doing.
Yeah, Molat has been.
Kalista is doing as well. Covering the tournament. That's a dream come true. So in what I do, it's something I would love to be a part of. And yeah, I saw Sasu complaining about
that food is expensive.
Journalists getting. I look at the AFCON and what we enjoyed at the AFCON. I'm like, spending this money on food.
But then in Brazil, I paid more than that for food. I paid more than that. 2014, I remember. But it wasn't the World Cup. It was outside, like when we went to Sofitel. Yeah. I went to one hotel to just go have fun. It's something that I like to do.
But it's not like a stadium thing.
No, it wasn't a stadium.
Buying $50 in a stadium is crazy.
It's crazy.
Really crazy.
Mine wasn't a stadium. I went to one rooftop hotel to go eat. And when I snapped the receipts and shared with my wife, that would have almost threatened our marriage. My wife was not
in Abidjan,
100. It converted into naira at the time was 123,700 for 1 meal. My wife said, "When you shop that food finish, when you come back, come carry me go where I go." I said, "Babe, the place there now, place there." That's how we discover Cross and Cream. Now when I came back, I had to take her to Cross and Cream and some other places so that we balance it. And I was like, okay, now only when you go out. But it's one of those.
I quoted actually that in Morocco we had snacks, right, and all of those kind of things at the stadiums for journalists. At the Côte d'Ivoire edition, there was food. Like proper food, like ateke and whatever it is. There's rice and plantain and different things, like proper food in stadium for journalists. In Morocco, it didn't happen like that, but there was at least
but there was enough snacks,
right, to go
especially
around.
in Rabat.
Why am I spending money?
If you go Rabat, you go pause you. Rabat. Now for you, Mikolo, what's the moment where this World Cup start hurting you?
Do you remember where it start hurting me?
As a content creator?
As a content creator is the fact that, okay, I'm going to point it this way. When it was weeks to the tournament, when it was like a week to the tournament, you see people come online to say, these are the ways you can make money from this tournament. Lock in as a content creator, lock in as this, lock in as that, right? Then the World Cup was about to start on Thursday. Then I fell ill on let's say Wednesday, right? So my point was that I was trying to be very locked in as a content creator from home, right? But I was not able to make videos as much as I want to. I think I posted just like 2 or 3 videos. Then at a point, I just got sad. Because I'm just like, if I was at this tournament, I don't need to do much, right? Just make a video of the stadium, right? It's content. Like
Yeah.
I'm doing my job. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like now, yeah, I have to look for videos, look for talking points, look for pictures
You
to
must
back up
watch
my
match.
videos, watch match, put thumbnail, do this one, just to be able to do content before they can know that you're locked in for the
If you're
World
there,
Cup.
you don't need to
Like
watch
if I'm
all
there, bro,
watch
like
games,
the moment
watch
I'm
all
landing at the airport and I just take a video of myself round,
Somebody
I already
commented.
have content.
Somebody commented on our YouTube channel. One of the content we put. I say, "Your mate at the World Cup.
No,
You are
that
here
one,
to run your mouth about Wenger."
Don't worry. So, don't
But let
worry.
me tell you where
Yeah.
these things start paining me. So for me, it's always about the money. So yes, it's about the money. I'm Jerry Maguire now. Show me the money. So there were conversations that we had before we went to AFCON, when we came back from AFCON, and some brands, let me not mention their name now so that we don't create problem, agreed that we're going to give this one $30,000, this one $50,000, and that one like that 10,000. There were about 6 different brands. So that November 16th, where we lost to Congo, they started sending me mail. But when we were in Morocco, I started sending the mail that this one that we didn't go to the World Cup, I'm not sure we'll be able to continue. You know how these people are very professional with their mailing.
Yeah.
We can't continue this conversation. We don't want you to raise your hope, and then that time get disappointed. I still didn't feel bad. I was like, okay, no worry, they might change their mind. When I saw South Africa play against Mexico, and I saw how poor, shambolic, disjointed they were, and I look at the Super Eagles, I was like, as much as I am angry with the Super Eagles would not be this bad. Yes, we've been to the World Cup before. Denmark beat us 4-1. We've been horrible in some performance as well. But you see, these current Super Eagles, as disjointed as they might be, as much as they don't like each other, they will not play this bad. And if I was there, say we just clocked 25,000. Now we are officially a YouTuber, right? There's no way we will not be looking
And
at.
do you know what the RPM of the US
30
is? The RPM
It's the highest now.
The
It's the
RPM of
highest
the US is the
on
highest
this-
on YouTube.
on YouTube on the
Yeah.
YouTube platform. So imagine we're there for 1 month, and the way I would have traveled, I would have done maybe US Canada or US Mexico, and then see what happened. Like I started looking at it when I tabulated it. I calculated everything that would have made. It's about $350,000 in terms of sponsorship money, and then what would have made from the channel and all that. So plus or minus, let's just say $400,000 just to us as a team. What would have happened to Mikolo's brand? What would have happened to your personal brand? What would have happened to Timothy, Joy, and the rest? And now I'm not seeing people, not like I'm jealous of them. I'm happy that they are going, Nigerians are going. I'm saying that this is where Joy could have been. When I see Kalista, it's like this could have been Joy. When I see, what's it called? Pooja and Toby land in ATL. I was like, oh God, my family is in ATL. And my friend, Sam Mbono, is in Houston.
Yeah,
I was watching that game in Houston. I was like, who? And then Sam was just telling me what some Nigerian media here are doing. They reach out to him to do content, and then he send them invoice like, oh, $3,500, $2,500, or $1,000 if I need to go to New York. And that guy is a beast. And then everybody wants him to do it for free. And I told him, I said, Sam, do not send a picture to any Nigerian company for free. Don't do it. It better make you not do anything. It's like, why would you do it when he's paying transport and the rest, and people are buying food $53 and 75 cents? You want them to send you content, video, do interview for you for free. Don't go fire the people who look for free work in Nigeria. But all that said, I think that if you are, now that you've seen some of the games, even though we've not seen all, if you're asked to make your projection, how would the World Cup end? Nicolo?
No, I don't think we can say yet for now, because it's just like with bets.
Let's give it 2 Mondays.
So just like with bets, I was telling my guys, the way I was planning to lock in with content, a lot of people are planning to lock in with bets.
I have a friend like that.
And I'm like,
one guy don't lose 1 million already.
I'm like, wait, if you go and play long tickets now, that covers all of the group stages, every World Cup, there's always 1 or 2 big teams that choose to have a very bad tournament.
To be horrible.
Germany has had that kind of team before. France has had that in 2010 where they bowed out in the group stages. Germany won the World Cup. And
2014. And then
in 2018 group stage, right? I think
Spain too won in 2010 and 2014.
I think even in 2022 Germany were not very spectacular and all those kinds of
stuff.
So until you wait, you have to first see everybody's first game. Let's see what style everybody's bringing to play. Who are the top teams before you can do that? So for now, I don't think we can decide yet. I think the only team that we can probably say now, and maybe it doesn't come back to bite me in the ass, is that Brazil is not winning the World Cup. Maybe
No,
that's
definitely
maybe
Brazil
that's
will win.
maybe that's the one we can predict right now. We've not seen Argentina play, we've not seen France play, we've not seen
Spain.
Spain play. Yeah, so three nations that are still looking like top guys on
England.
paper until they play.
England too.
do you understand? Brazil were looking like a top team until they
Belgium.
face Morocco. So they don't. So we have to wait first. On paper, it's still looking. These guys have a very good team. They have a very top team. Brazil. So let's wait until first round of matches. Let's see which teams are really coming to the party and which guys are just there.
Emmanuel.
Which guys are just there to enjoy the party.
Which player have
Lucky.
impressed you so far?
Player.
Player that have impressed me so far. What are the games now? That impressed me so far.
Impressed. Okay, Folar. Maybe Folar.
Yeah, Folari Balogun really impressed me, but I'm not gonna call him.
Oh, Boad.
I saw the there's a player out of Australia. I saw the Australia Turkey game was a 5 a.m. kickoff for work reasons. Actually, you know the
Yeah, I know.
So there's this guy.
That's what's killing me, Timothy, right now.
Yeah,
Omo.
yeah, I need to get that. So there's this Irakunda guy for Australia.
For Australia.
Yeah, I think that young chap he was blistering for Australia because it was a game that's the only game I've seen completely. I've seen glimpses of other game, but that was the game I watched from start to finish. I think I was impressed with the performance he put out there. And to talk about the World Cup, I love the fact that players all work out together now and stand
The
for
full
the national
squad,
anthem,
26
full
players.
squad,
Yeah,
and stand for
cool
the
guy.
national anthem. It gives you a sense of belonging, even as
Yeah.
a substitute. So I love that beginning part where they all come out to stand, and sing the national anthem as well. Yeah.
America will always give you the show if
Yeah,
it comes to a show,
innovation,
and
innovation, yeah.
so far the show have begun. It has not ended. I think that they will give us a good show. In between, in this World Cup season, the New York Knicks decided that this is a season where they would nick it, and they nick it in grand style. The Spurs were not there for it. Spurs are not, the American Spurs are not shit anyway, but the one in London is shit. And
4-1.
the same way in Formula One. It was a beauty to behold. On Saturday, first off, let's backtrack to last weekend where Lewis Hamilton was second to Kimi Raikkonen. And everybody said in Monaco. And then they came to Barcelona this weekend. And, in practice on Saturday, Lewis Hamilton was second. And, it looked like, okay, this is the same thing again. And he would never win anything with Ferrari, but then he did that, and it was beautiful. They are climbing on the construction ladder. The 45 point between him and the guy at the top. Nobody really cares. They say if you date Kim Kardashian, your career will destroy. We're looking if Lewis Hamilton will break that circle and win his 8th Grand Prix. I don't know if he would, but it's something that is exciting and interesting. It's good to see him go back to number one. Sometimes, how they say that lonely at the top, and then it is easier to fall off when you've gone to the top than to get to the top. So when you get to the top, you work a lot more harder because now everybody, the entire chasing pack is chasing you to drag you down.
Yeah.
So let's hope that he gets there and he continue to win. See him again next time on the race. But having said that, to the people out there, please tell us in the comment section which player have really done it for you, which coach have done it so far for you, and what team have also done it for you. While you are doing that, remember that your bills don't wait, so your bet shouldn't wait. Log on to www.betwgb.com and create your account and get the bonus that comes in, special World Cup bonus. Also, you get a special bonus because you are using the gliders as your reference point. You get a 200% bonus credit for you, and then you can bet wisely. Please do not go and bet with your house rent, your school fees, your jackpot money. No, don't go and use all those ones to bet. Bet wisely and gain. Once again, I've done this job today with Emmanuel Sebastian, a future CEO and a future lecturer. The man who's a thinker, who's a wise young man, who is supposed to be our caregiver. But I'll end it there. He's caring for us.
Let's be
God
mindful of the
bless him.
things we say, please.
And you want to go without mentioning one of the major sporting event that happened over the weekend at the White House, UFC Freedom 250.
I don't know anything about it.
Oh,
I don't know anything about it.
God.
That lawn,
Oh,
that lawn, that White House
God.
lawn that they decide to mess
Yeah,
up.
the Southern lawn,
tried to, stay away from the. It's a political agenda because there's no way I'll discuss
Yeah,
it.
it was to
that
mark
I will
Donald
not
Trump.
discuss Donald Trump.
Yeah, there's slight political take.
I don't want you to
The event
to
itself
flag
was
us. Yeah.
Anyways, our friend Amorim is also back with AC Milan.
Confirmed?
Yeah, AC Milan.
Official?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's confirmed.
Let's see.
Bye bye.